I'm Wendy Garf-Lipp from United Neighbors, and this is Connections. Today, my guest is Chelsie Stephenson. Chelsie is the WIC Community Coordinator through Health First Family Care Center and the Fall River WIC Nutrition Program.
Yes.
So I'm throwing around that word WIC. Chelsie,
Yes.
let's start with that. What is WIC?
What is WIC? Great question, Wendy. So let's start by what WIC stands for. So WIC stands for Women, Infant, and Children. We are a nutritional program that promotes healthy eating. We do community resource referrals.
And who is eligible for this program?
As far as who is eligible, there's a few different ways you can be eligible. The number one thing is you need to be a Massachusetts resident. You need to be a new mom, pregnant, have legal guardianship of a child under the age of 5, or breastfeeding.
Okay, so you can be pregnant?
Yes.
Or having already given birth to a child that's 5 years old or under?
Yes.
Or if you are breastfeeding. So that means if
Yes.
you're breastfeeding past the age of 5, you are still qualified for it, or?
So normally people aren't breastfeeding past the age of 5. We say up to a year. So up to a year breastfeeding will still support mom and baby with breastfeeding foods
Great.
that are needed.
So tell me what you get when you're part of WIC.
What
is the
don't
program
you
about?
get is the question. It's an amazing program. Being a WIC participant myself, I do have a 1-year-old, so I will start with, it's an amazing program, such a good help. With WIC, we go anywhere from infant cereals, baby food. If you do not fully breastfeed, we do support iron formula for children. There is cheese and eggs. You get milk. If you are lactose intolerant, you can meet with one of our nutritionists. And we have soy options for you. Beans, the best part, fresh fruits and vegetables. You can also get those canned, frozen. We support juice. Of course, they're sugar-free.
Wait, so all these foods you get if you're a member of WIC?
All of these foods.
And how do you get the foods? Do you come to your place to pick them up, or how does that work?
So you can go to a grocery store that supports WIC. Right when you walk into a grocery store, there's usually the WIC logo on there. And we're in Fall River, so Price Right, Ciabra supports WIC, Shaw's, Stop and Shop, Walmart, some of the Walgreens and CVS's will only do formula, but you can also go there to pick up your WIC needs.
And how does that work? So I go into the store, I have my WIC card, is that it? So what is it, like a credit card?
Yes, I actually brought one with me to show everybody. So it's this beautiful little gold card. It actually looks like a debit card. It has the stripe right on the back of it. You'd go into your store. Well, I do want to say back in the day, probably about 8 years ago, they were paper checks, which was awful. You'd have to go in the store, separate your WIC items from your grocery items. The cashier would then have to sit there, write everything you got. It would have to be processed. This amazing little debit card, you'd go right in. You do not have to separate your foods. You'd swipe it just like a regular debit card. You have a PIN number. You'd put your PIN number in. It lets you know, is this your total WIC balance, however amount of dollars. And then you go from there.
It removes it from your...
It removes it from the total from whatever else you're using.
Okay, so let me restate this so everybody gets this. So you buy whatever you want to buy, and you buy your WIC foods.
Yes.
And we're going to talk a minute how you know which are WIC foods.
Absolutely.
You go to the cashier, you present your WIC card, and you present whatever payment card. Everything you buy that's WIC eligible comes off of that card,
off of this card,
off of your bill, and then you just pay for the rest of the food.
Yes.
Wow, it couldn't be easier.
Yes, it couldn't be easier.
So how do you know
great.
which foods are WIC eligible?
So once you go into a grocery store, you're going to notice, you'll probably notice now if you haven't noticed before, you're going to go through aisles and then you're going to see certain foods labeled with our WIC logo, letting you know they're eligible for WIC. We also, which I absolutely love, we have a WIC app called WIC Smart. It's such a handy app. How that would work is if you're still unsure, maybe a grocery store didn't update something, you can go throughout the aisles. Let's say you're looking at, your whole grain breads. You can get your bread, there's a scanner on it with this app. You can scan it and it's gonna let you know if it's eligible or not.
Wow.
So it's pretty amazing.
That's amazing.
It's amazing and it helps a lot of people.
That is amazing.
Yes.
So how can someone be automatically income eligible? I understand that that's an option.
Yes. So to be automatically income eligible, you need to be on a food stamp or cash benefit caseload with the Department of Transitional Assistance. And certain Mass Health plans will also qualify you to be automatically eligible. A common plan that we see now is Mass Health Standard. That means you don't have to show any income, which is fabulous. And believe it or not, we have many working families that are on WIC too. I do hear out in the community all the time, like, oh, I don't think I'm eligible. I don't have food stamps. I don't have cash benefits. But we have income guidelines through the state of Massachusetts. For instance, a family of 2, you cannot make more than $602 per week, and then a family of 4 is $907.
Well, that's a considerable amount of money when you think about it.
It is.
Right.
Yeah, I
so
think
that's
so.
pretty great. So what are the benefits of being on this program nutritionally?
All right, so nutritionally, the benefits to be on WIC. Let's start with it's a new year. A lot of our goals for the new year is to eat better.
More fruits, more vegetables.
Yes, more fruits and vegetables.
Everybody says that.
Everybody says that. I mean, I'm almost into February. I've almost made my goal, so that's a good thing.
I've learned to like cauliflower.
So let's start off with how much that we can save you off of just that goal itself. If you are on WIC, we can save you anywhere from $100 to $200 per month, depending on the need of your case. So you will meet with the nutritionist. You'll go over, different food options, what you think is better for your lifestyle, your children, maybe yourself because you're pregnant. And
sounds great.
Yeah,
so
it's just wonderful.
How do you connect with WIC? How do I find out, first of all, if I'm eligible, and then how do I go through the process of getting connected and figuring out how to do this shopping? All right, so in other words, how do I find you?
How do you find me? All right, so the first thing, we are located inside Health First, the community center, 387 Quarry Street. Quarry Street. We used to be on County Street back in the day.
Quarry Street.
Quarry Street, Q-U-A-R-R-Y,
okay.
Yes.
That New England accent.
New England accent, yes. You can find us on Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, and Instagram. And our state site's just at MassWIC. We do have a local Facebook. It's at Fall River WIC Program. Even on there, you're going to find so many things. I update that. I personally run that. You're going to find so many community announcements, free events for children. I put resources, anything like that. A big one that we're seeing nowadays, so many people are connected online, social media, of course. You can go to www.mass.gov/WIC. You can actually do a pre-screening application to see if you even qualify for WIC. Let's say if you're not automatically eligible. And what that will do is it tells you, it basically just does a pre-screen and lets you know, and that gets sent over to our program assistant staff first thing after, of course, you do it, and they'll call you, and then they'll keep going over that screening with you if there's any more questions. But there's so many ways you can connect.
Can you say that website once again?
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Yep, it's www.mass.gov/WIC.
Great.
Yes.
Okay.
One more, you
please.
can go to our Health First website because we are located in Health First. So you can go to the www.healthfirstfr.org, and right there you'll see a WIC tab, and then you're able to click, have so many fun facts and things in that nature to apply.
And can you just come to Health First into the WIC office for information as well?
Absolutely.
Okay,
we do take walk-ins. Absolutely.
387 Quarry Street.
387 Quarry Street.
So you Health First, big building, lots of good parking, and you can come in, and Chelsie is there, and a bunch of other great support services are available through WIC.
Come take a tour. Yeah.
Let's tell me some of the WIC foods. Like what are some of the foods? You said you're a WIC recipient.
I am myself. My son just turned 1.
8 this week.
All right, some of the foods we eat together, we absolutely love Cheerios. We love Honey Bunches of Oats. My favorite, all-time favorite, is the Life cereal. Has like that little sweet taste, but you know you're eating something healthy. Depending on how many children, I only have one child on WIC, but you get an $11 voucher towards fresh fruits and vegetables. And again, those can be canned, those can be frozen. We eat a lot of asparagus, and asparagus can be expensive. You don't catch that sale. Same thing with like something like grapes.
Right, or blueberries.
Oh my goodness, blueberries, raspberries, squash, things in that nature. You can get juice that can be, again, you'll see the WIC logo in the aisle, but it can also be frozen. And I know a lot of people don't do the frozen juices anymore, but I do like to incorporate that with my kids and show them that that's still an option.
Right. There are many frozen juices that don't have added sugar to them as
Absolutely,
well.
many.
You just have to look for that.
There's many.
I used to think that WIC was only milk. But you haven't mentioned milk.
No, of course you can get milk. Yeah. You can get milk, but see how I haven't mentioned that? Because that's what everybody thinks. It's, oh, they just give you milk. No, we give you eggs and we give you cheese. You're getting peanut butter. You're getting your whole grains, whether it be pasta, bread, tortilla. We make a lot of quesadillas in my house, so just getting the quesadillas and the cheese.
It's great.
Very easy, and then you use that $11 voucher to make your salsa on the side, and it's like you just ate a meal for free.
And we know that the dietary guidelines have changed. We used to have the food pyramid, but we no longer have the food pyramid. We have the food plate. And one of the most important things that we talk about are whole grains.
Yes.
Right? So that's like whole wheat bread and different kind of grain bread.
Yes.
And WIC is able to provide amazing foods that are whole grain food.
Yes.
So let's get to the good stuff.
Yes.
Show us some of the food. Let's
All right,
see
let
what
me show
you brought.
you some of the food. So, like I said, I love Cheerios. So I have some Cheerios. I have
does this
some.
have a symbol on it that shows that it's WIC eligible?
It
or
doesn't.
Does the store?
The store does.
Gotcha.
Right where the price is, it's going to be right there. It's going to be that little purple, little cute sun.
Right, so sort of where they tell you how much it is per pound.
Right there.
The cost there, it will have a little symbol that says WIC eligible.
So every Tuesday at Health First, we do a good food project, and what that consists of is we have participants come in and we just give them ideas on things that they can do with their food. This month, we've been working on our sweet cinnamon O-bars. They're so good. It's bad. I eat a lot of these. I do eat a lot of them. So what that would consist of is you can get Cheerios with your WIC. You can get peanut butter. For this recipe, you do need the crunchy peanut butter. This one happens to be extra crunchy. And then some things that you most likely have in your house. So grounded cinnamon and some honey. So with just these 4 items, you can make these amazing O-bars. It's super simple. You're basically just going to, I have my little bowl. You're gonna take your little bowl. You're just gonna add all these ingredients together. I do have, a recipe card. You can find this on our website.
Okay, so let's take a look at this. So this says we're going to do a 1/2 cup of chunky peanut butter, and a 1/3 cup of honey, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and 3 cups of Cheerios. So we put it all in the bowl, and then what happens? Put it all in the bowl.
You're going to mix it together. You can refrigerate it for about an hour. After that, that's for them to stick together. And then you get these amazing, I don't know if the camera can zoom into that, kind of having these little pixie cups. You should try it, Wendy. It's really good.
Okay, so it's kind of sticky together. It looks delicious.
Healthy. I love peanut butter.
Oh my God, it's like candy. It's delicious.
I told you, I eat a lot of them. It's pretty bad. I eat a lot of them.
So where can we get these recipes?
So you can get these recipes on our website. We are updating, so there will be so many, but it is called the Good Food Project. And honestly, let's say you're not a WIC participant and you happen to be in the area, come on by. It's Tuesdays. It's at 10:30. We'll be happy to show you different foods because they're always changing. It's not just things like this. We're making meals. We're making snacks. We're making drinks. It's all kinds of things.
I see there's also some tips on the back. They're saying try other cereals such as Rice Krispies or oatmeal squares. Double the recipe and put it in a big pan. Add cranberries, coconut flakes, bananas. So you get lots and lots of options of how you can take the normal foods that you have in your house and reinvent them. And you know that your kids don't like to eat the same thing over and over again. So offering them another option is a really good thing. So tell me how WIC supports breastfeeding. We mentioned that before, but haven't gotten into it.
Okay, so WIC supports breastfeeding. We are big on breastfeeding. We have both Spanish and English breastfeeding support groups that meet once a month. We are working on a Portuguese one. We have our baby cafe, which is hosted by a nurse from South Coast. She comes every Wednesday at 10:30. And basically what that is she comes in, we promote it, so we're hoping other moms come, they can ask questions, things in that nature. Get your little one busy. Obviously, if you have an infant, your baby's just going to chill out. We support it. We have peer counselors. Our peer counselors, I can't give them enough credit. Again, I have a 1-year-old, so I was able to utilize our breastfeeding peer counselors. I was texting them at 2 o'clock in the morning, wanting to give up so many times. And I'd have that one person reach out to me. It might have been 2 hours later because, again, it'd be in the middle of the night. Like, no, don't give up, offering me tips, just support. Even when I wanted to wean off, the best support possible. I was over there trying to Google,
how do I wean my child?
How do I wean my child? And the things that they tell you, oh my gosh, and you just want to do that at that point. But the breastfeeding peer counselors they're absolutely amazing. Like I said, we have Spanish, Portuguese, and English. They're constantly checking up on you once a week. They're absolutely, they're just amazing.
I remember that when my son was born, I was a breastfeeding mother as well, and there were very few peer counselor opportunities. And I went into it, I'd read every single book that was written. I thought I was an expert. I didn't think it was that complicated. but my son didn't want to go to the breast.
Yeah.
I was hysterical and I didn't know what to do. And somebody turned me on to a breastfeeding support counselor who sat with me on the phone at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Amazing.
Talked me off the edge.
Yes.
And then I was able to have successful breastfeeding for many, many months because of that. So a lot of women think it's really easy, and for a lot of women it is. There's no problems at all.
Of course.
But some women and some babies need some support.
Yes.
So that's really great that that's really offered. And say again, that's on Wednesdays at 10 o'clock?
Wednesdays at 11 o'clock.
Wednesdays at 11 o'clock.
At Health First, yes.
Okay, I did notice something else when I was looking through the website, and it said a whole lot more. What does that mean in WIC world?
So it's funny that you say that, because like you said, when you think of WIC, you kind of just, oh, they give formula and milk.
Right.
So that whole lot more piece is we're also a social service resource center. You can register to vote with us. We have play and learn groups. We have our fun times, which is just getting families together for like an hour just to show them different ways to interact and play with their children. Like I said, we have the Good Food Project, which is amazing. You can register to vote at the Fall River. That is amazing.
Right. So one of the things we know about families is that families need what we call the protective factors to be strong. They need certain things so that their children can develop and they can develop as a family. And two of the things that a lot of times parents don't think about is the ability to ask for help.
Yes.
And social connections. Parents need the ability to connect with other parents that are raising children their age, that are going through similar experiences. And it seems to me that the programs that you're offering through Health First and WIC are amazing. You can come to a play group, you can get some support, you can work on your breastfeeding, you can work on eating well. So the whole idea of being able to go for one-stop shopping at WIC is terrific. And the voter registration is the icing on the cake. We, as always, urge everyone to make sure that you are registered. Even if you think you're registered, you can check and make sure that you're still on the rolls. And if you're not registered, please register soon. So tell me a little bit about how WIC has changed from my perception of here's your gallon of WIC milk to what WIC is like today. What do you see as some of the WIC highlights of today?
I think the first WIC highlight is, of course, this beautiful little debit card rather than the paper checks. We found it, a lot of people just weren't comfortable with those paper checks, so that's big. The WIC Smart App is absolutely huge. We also have an app within the WIC Smart App that after your child turns age 1 year old, of course, this is case by case because some people could be high risk, some families could be low risk, but you can actually do your WIC appointment online. It would be completing an educational module and then calling up our program assistants and nutrition staff and just letting them know you completed it and we can load your benefits. I did hear a lot of talk like, oh, like we'd have to go there so many times. I don't have time for that. So I think that's major that after the age of 1, that families are able to, complete WIC appointments online at this point.
I think that I do remember, this is changing the world because I do remember the lack of dignity that people had when they had to sit there and the checkout person would say, is this WIC eligible?
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Across the supermarket, and you're standing there and you're dying. So now it's done privately. No one knows what is WIC eligible on your order, what is not WIC eligible on your order. Nobody knows that you're a WIC participant, and there's no stigma involved, which is wonderful. How do you get the app? At the App Store?
So depending on your phone, the App Store, whatever app, your Google, I have Samsung, so your Google Play Store, your Apple Store, you're just going to download, it's just called WIC Smart.
And there's not a special one for Massachusetts?
Nope, so once you go into that, it's going to ask you what state.
Got it.
And then from there, you're going to put your card number on there, and then the app is, oh my goodness, I just can't speak more of this app, honestly. You can see your next appointment. If you can't remember what your benefits are, you're going to find your appointment, your benefits, the scanning the items, so many recipes. If you don't know what to make for that night, they're going to offer you easy recipes to make with WIC foods, maybe without, to add a couple things. The app is just amazing.
That's terrific.
It really is amazing.
So if someone wanted to get involved, the way that they should do it is first come into WIC or connect with you online with WIC. What would be the first step for someone who's not yet WIC involved to be able to benefit from all these amazing things?
So nowadays, I understand families are super busy. Ideally, of course, please walk in. We'll be happy to help you. We do accept walk-ins. However, if online is best for you, to start that pre-screening, that's okay. Start it online. It's a head start that gives us the motive to call you and gives you the motive, like, okay, they called me. Let me get that step into the door. From there, you're going to come in. We'll check eligibility with our program assistants. And then from there, you'll meet with your nutrition staff. You'll go over the best food package. And again, I want to go back to that a whole lot more with the nutrition staff. In that room, it's unlimited. Dental services, healthcare services, my God, insurance needs, there's
And I know
so
there's a physical in the building.
There
there's
is.
physical therapy
And in
the
general,
building,
in the building, yes.
Right.
We have family medicine, we have pediatric, dental clinic, we have South Coast Lab, the pharmacy, the chiropractor. In general, please come take a tour. Even if you're not eligible for WIC, come take a tour. There's so many other ways we can help you.
Right.
Honestly.
So if you've never been to Health First, it's worthwhile to take a walk over. It's one of the better things that we have in town, one-stop health, where you can get support for many of the things that you might need for you and your family. So we have a few minutes left. Let's talk a little bit. What are some of the other recipes that you've seen through WIC that we could turn people on to?
So some other recipes, something super easy would be the yogurt parfaits.
How do you make a yogurt parfait?
How do you make a yogurt parfait? So you can get yogurt with WIC. You would take your yogurt, whatever fruits of your choice that you would like. So I happen to like raspberry and blueberries in my yogurt parfait. Put your yogurt, get your whatever fruits that you'd want. Some people like granola, some people don't. Some people add honey, some don't. I add all that good stuff because it's good.
So the yogurt, the fruit, and the cereal, all are WIC eligible food.
They are. A lot of people, so granola is not, however, you can turn that around if you want to use WIC foods. You can get the honey bunches of oats. It has those
Right.
clusters in it.
Right.
So it's
sort of
absolutely perfect. That's
granola
actually what I
eating.
use.
Right.
That's what I use for one of those. What else? There's so many recipes with WIC. There's so many.
Anything else you'd like to highlight? Any
Absolutely.
Other food? Yeah.
So this gold card not only saves you time in the grocery store, this gold card actually helps families go to over 100 museums in the state of Massachusetts, either discounted or free of charge.
Wait, this WIC card
This WIC
gets
card.
you museum
Discount or free of
admissions.
charge.
Can you? What are some of the museums you can get
Funny
into?
thing is, on Saturday, I actually brought my children to the New England Aquarium in Boston. It was $5 per ticket rather than $32.99 per ticket.
Right, that's amazing.
It's amazing. The Children's Science Museum in Boston, it's $2.
Right, which is also about a $30
You know what I
ticket,
mean?
right, yeah.
Even just being on WIC, your electricity bill, you can save 29%. You just would need to call your electricity. I know in Fall River we have, is it National Grid?
Right.
Call National Grid, let them know you're on WIC. They'll ask you some information. You can do a form to verify you're on WIC. You save 29% on your heating bill. Do
you hear that? 29% on your heating bill.
It's better than nothing. That's amazing.
That's huge.
That's amazing.
That's almost a third of your heating bill.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I had no idea that WIC
Lots of people don't know.
offered other services besides food. I really was uneducated when it came to that. I really thought you were going to, when we talked about you bringing WIC food, I expected to see a gallon of milk.
A gallon of milk.
And baby formula.
Maybe some eggs.
Right,
Formula.
and baby formula. That was sort of, my thing. So there's a lot of unique things about the Fall River WIC that we've talked about. Anything else you want to add to that before we sort of sign off?
Absolutely. I mean, those that are WIC participants or are new coming to WIC, you want to look out for dates. We do host and give our participants farmers markets checks, depending on how many people in your household are on WIC. So if it's just one person, you're going to get a $25 voucher for a farmers market. If you have three, you're going to get a $75 voucher to the farmers market. I think that's big.
And what farmers market can you use that at?
You can use those at the Kennedy Park Farmers Market, at the Ruggles Park Farmers Market. These are all in the summer. Of course, these are not going on now.
They just ended a couple of months ago.
They did just end.
We usually go into September or October.
Yes.
And they'll probably start up again May, June?
May, June. Right now I'm getting a date about May. Yes.
$25 for family of two and
so that's each participant. Some people have 4 children that are 5 and under, so they're getting $100 for.
This is a month?
This is just for the whole summer.
For the whole summer. So you get $100 a month $100 for the summer, for the season, that you can use on fresh fruits and vegetables.
On top of your $11 per month voucher per child that you're already getting on your Gold card.
Okay, so you get it. Wow. So that's an awful lot of money.
That
Right.
is.
So you're probably saving about a third on your grocery bill.
are.
And the more children you have involved in the program, enrolled in the
The
program,
more you get
the better
as far
it
as
is.
benefits,
Right.
all of that stuff.
So why should we be eating all these food? Why shouldn't we be hitting the drive-thru at McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chicken? Why are we promoting this food? The other stuff is cheap.
The other stuff is cheap. However, you have to remember what you put in your body is important. Those burgers, although they're $1 and that apple might be $1.25, at the end of the day, your body needs the nutrients, you know, to carry on and yeah.
I do know that Fall River, we do have some pretty high rates of childhood obesity.
Yes.
We have some pretty high rates of heart disease, and we have some real failure in terms of nutrition across the board with some of our families. And a lot of times we hear that I can't eat healthy because eating healthy is too expensive. But here today, Chelsie has shown us that we can cut the cost of healthy food almost a third of what we normally pay for it, and provide really good, accessible, available food for our families, for our children, and for ourselves, because we know that the better we eat, the better health outcomes we are going to have.
Absolutely.
So, Chelsie, thank you so much. I think that this is very exciting. If you are interested in learning more about WIC, you can contact Chelsie at Health First. Do you want to give a website or
Yeah, please follow the Facebook page. Like I said, I do run the Facebook page. So if you have any questions, you want to reach out, please message. It will be me reaching out to you. And that was at Fall River WIC Program on Facebook. And again, even if you're not on WIC, I promote everything, anything that's going on out there that's beneficial to the community, to get you, you know, happy events with your kids. It's going to be on that page. Yeah.
And happy eating. So I'm Wendy Garflip from United Neighbors, and this has been Connections. Thank you.